So, hi all. Let me try to start today's session, and I'm going to be acting as your trainer over here. Talking about the module on which you're going to be getting trained on, it is going to be called as a SAP Sales and Distribution. Okay, so this is the name of the module on which you're going to be getting trained on. Now, talking about this particular training program over here, the entire course has been designed for 4 months. So this is going to be the duration, what I'm trying to put it. And this 4 months, it is going to be practical oriented training. It is not going to be theoretical. It is going to be practical, where I'm going to be navigating through SAP application and I'm going to be explaining how SAP system need to be built for running sales transaction. And the class timings would be lasting around 60 to 90 minutes in a day, and it will be conducted from Monday to Saturday. Okay, it is going to be from Monday to Saturday. Only on Sundays we are not going to be having a class. Apart from that, on public holidays or some festivals we don't have a class. Regarding that, I wanted to be very clear, and we are going to be having classes scheduled from Monday to Saturday. Okay. And what exactly you're going to be working on? So here there are going to be few things which I wanted to explain it. You will be provided with SAP server access for practice. You will be provided for S4HANA application, and the server access is going to be provided for 6 months. Every one of you will be having your own username and a password to log into the system and do your practice. Okay, there's one thing I wanted to keep it very simple. So every one of you will be having your own username and a password, and you can log into the system anytime in a day. And talking about study material over here, so what kind of study material I'm going to be providing it? So I'm going to be providing you the books, what you need to refer. There are going to be some real-time documents as well, which I'm going to be sharing it up. So based on my project experience, what documents I prepared in the real time, I'm going to be sharing that documents for your reference to understand how process has been built for a business. And I'm going to be providing the access for the class recordings as well. So access will be provided for all the class recordings. Okay, so each session is going to be recorded, including day one today, and this will be updated in the Google Drive, and you will be having the access for all the class recording, where access will be provided for lifetime. But if you want to refer any particular class recording going ahead in the future, also you will be having access for that. And talking about the most important one, job assistance. Now, how I'm going to be guiding you in finding a job. First thing, I'm going to be providing you the subject knowledge. What skill is required to crack an interview, work independently in the project? That is going to be my major motive of this particular training. Okay, and I try to help you out with the resume preparation. So how to prepare your resume based on the job requirements? I'm going to be providing you the total insights of it. Second thing, I'm going to be conducting mock interviews where I'm going to be checking your skill set. So how much knowledge you have gained, how you are going to be presenting yourself in the interviews. So that particular feedback I'm going to be providing through that mock interviews, so that you can get into the job, look for the job opportunities with right and proper skill set. Okay. And to support this one, I'm going to be providing interview questions, what you need to prepare, and answers. I'm going to be providing you all that particular stuff, what is required. And there are going to be real-time documents or real-time issues, which I'm going to be sharing it up. So you can expect this one on each topic wise. On each topic wise, I'm going to be providing some assignments where I want you people to work, get to know what is the solution we have in SAP, or if there is no solution, how we are going to be handling that particular issue. So the reason why I'm going to be giving this one as a task, so that you can prepare yourself and you can face the interviews. Because in interviews, it is not going to be theoretical, it is going to be practical oriented. So they will be asking you a scenario and you need to come out with a solution for that. So as many scenarios, as many issues, you know how to resolve it, that would be more easy for you to crack an interview. So please remember that. So there will be number of issues what I'm going to be sharing it on each topic wise so that you can be well prepared to run the fun on SAP. And this particular training program has been designed for few things. It has been designed from basic to advanced level. So people who is having no knowledge on SAP can also get trained on this particular module and you can look for the job. Or people who is having knowledge on SAP but they want to get more information related to the sales functionality, or if they want to upgrade their particular skill, they can also get trained on this particular module. So how much knowledge a 4-year consultant is having in the real time, that much of knowledge I'm going to be providing from this particular training. Only one input I require. I want you people to practice on the system. So without practice, you will be not understanding the subject. So good number of hours is required to practice. Second thing, you need to come out with all the solutions for the assignment what I'm trying to provide. If you come out with a solution that makes sense, that will be making your interview clearing chances more. Okay. So these are going to be some inputs what I wanted to share it before we try to start anything related to this particular SD module over here. So this is what the first thing what I wanted to explain it. And talking about the sales and distribution. So we are here to learn SAP sales and distribution model. Okay. So this is the name of the module on which you people are going to be getting trained on. So when we try to talk about this, first thing I want to introduce what you mean by SAP. I hear a lot of people calling it as SAP. So please don't call it as SAP. We have an abbreviation maintained for that, and it stands for System, Application, and Products used in data processing. So this is going to be the full name of SAP. So you will be finding S has been picked up, A and P. We call it as SAP as system, application, and products, which is going to be used in data processing. And we name this SAP as an ERP application, or you can call it as ERP, or you can call it as an ERP package. All naming conventions are going to be accepted. So when we try to talk about ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Enterprise Resource Planning is what we name it as ERP. So which companies are trying to use this particular SAP application for? For what reasons they need to use this particular application? That is what we need to know before we get into sales and distribution module. So you're going to be finding there will be a lot of manufacturing companies which will be using SAP application, trading companies which are using SAP application. We have service oriented companies which are using SAP application. Companies which use SAP, we are going to be calling them as business, or you can call it as a company. Company which use SAP, we call them as business or company. So it can be a manufacturing company, it can be a trading company, or it can be service oriented companies. Now, which companies are using this particular software? For example, Pepsi company is using it. Coke is using it. In retail sector, we have Walmart, we have Spencer, we have D-Mart supermarket. In the pharmaceutical space, we have Sun Pharma, which is using SAP. Torrent Pharma is using SAP. Redis Lab is using SAP. In the automobile space, we have Audi, BMW, Tata Group, Mercedes, they are using SAP application. So Apple is using SAP. Indian Post is using SAP application. Amazon is using that. So you will be finding there will be number of manufacturing companies, number of trading companies, service-oriented companies will be using this particular software. So we have Bajaj Electronics, which is using SAP application. Okay. So we have Heritage Group, which is using SAP. So like this, there are a number of companies which are using SAP application for their business. Now, the reason why these companies want to use this particular software for. So these companies will be using this SAP application for three major reasons. First, they want to record day-to-day transactions. Whatever transactions are done in the business, they want to keep a record of it. Let it be related to sales order. Customer will place an order to the company, so they want to keep that particular information in the system. Let it be related to purchase orders. So company will be placing a purchase order to the vendors. Let it be related to inbound, outbound delivery, stock coming in, stock going out. Let it be related to in and outgoing payments, account receivables, account payables. Like this, whatever transactions are carried out in the business, they want to keep a record of it. So this is the first reason why companies will be using this particular software for. Second reason why business will be using this application for generation of reports. So if this transaction data is recorded, then only reports generations will be done. Okay. So we use this particular reports for different things. So please remember, if you want to generate reports, we need to keep a record of all the transactions in a business. So if you want to know how much sale has been done in a day, in a week, in a month, fortnight sales, quarterly sales, half yearly sales. So we are going to be running number of reports. And we use this particular data for data analysis. So we are going to be doing data comparisons as well. So I want to know how much sale has been done in last 3 months for a particular product, how much revenue we made, to compare the sales of present financial year with last financial year. I need to do my predictions for which product sale is good, sale is bad, peak season, dull season. I need to do all my analysis. That is what we try to call it as data comparisons. So please remember, this is one tool which is available in the market, which can be used by the business for performing three different activities: for recording of day-to-day transactions, for report generations, and for data analysis as well. So business no need to buy different tools for performing different things. This application will be fulfilling all the requirements what is required. Okay, and this is not a cheap software, it's an expensive software. So companies need to spend a lot of money to use this application for their business. So on SAP, you're going to be having different modules to handle. So we are going to be working with sales and distribution. So that is what we are going to be working and learning. sales and distribution as a module. Now, when we try to talk about the sales and distribution, it's basically a combination of two things what we are going to be looking after. So when we try to talk about the sales, it's all about selling the products of a business or a company. If company want to sell anything, they require a sales department. If company want to sell any particular product, they require a sales department who will be handling entire sales what company need to perform. Second model, we try to call it as distribution. So when we talk about distribution, this is all about delivering the products. Deliver the products to the customer on time. Okay. So once customer has placed an order to the company need to make sure it is going to be delivered to the customer on time. For example, when you place an order on Amazon or a Flipkart, as soon as you add quantity, you're going to be finding delivery date. So when you will be receiving that particular product. Okay. So on that particular date, you will be receiving the product. So how that date calculation is done. So what parameter checks need to be verified for that? That is going to be what we are going to be covering as part of this particular sales and distribution model. Okay. So the sales and distribution is going to be where we try to work under three sub areas. So we can call it as sub modules, or you can call it as areas in sales and distribution where we are going to be getting good hands-on experience on. One, we try to call it as order management. Second, delivery processing. Third, billing activities.
Hi, Jay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not able to understand what you are, whatever you are saying. Is this, as I joined late, we have received the link very late. What this class is all about? Is this the continuation of the last class, which was held on 18th March?
There is a backup class what I'm trying to take it up. It has been already updated to you in the group, right?
But
For the next
class, what exactly it's covering? I mean, we have the
Yes,
last
yeah.
class happened on 18th March, and I'm not sure what exactly is going on today.
It has been mentioned that we are going to be having backup classes for the next 3 days, which will be done from the start.
So you are starting it from the beginning of sales and
Yeah.
distribution.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about the classes which was had till now, like till 18th
Ankit,
March?
I think it has been clearly mentioned in the group there will be some additional classes which will be taking care to cover up that particular gap. It has been messaged to you in the group. Have you checked out the group messages or not?
So I am checking it regularly because, but I have received the link, today's link, very late, so I am not able to understand now
Not
what's
about the
going
link.
on.
If
That's
you
why
received the yesterday, I've dropped a message. Version IT team or my counselor has dropped a message. Have you checked out the WhatsApp messages?
I am checking in WhatsApp. I just received the link 5 minutes back only
Not
for
talking
joining
about
this
the link.
session.
I'm not talking about the link. Have you received the yesterday's messages related to this backup schedule which has been
Yeah,
updated
that
to
I
you?
have received, but I have not received the timing and the other things.
Okay, this is the timing, man.
Okay, this will be so for next 3 days. I am attending the backup class for 9:30 to 10:30, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So these are the three areas where we are going to be working as part of this particular submodules. One, we call it as order management. Second one is going to be delivery processing. And third is going to be the billing activities. And apart from this, the next submodule where we try to work and focus on is going to be part of pricing. Because without pricing, no sales transaction is going to be getting recorded, and pricing is going to be playing an important role as part of the sales and distribution module. And fourth area where we try to work is going to be cross-module integration. That's going to be the next module. So when we try to talk about this cross-module integration over here, So like how sales is going to be working with different modules. For example, we have a module called as MM, where MM stands for material management. So this particular module is going to be handling inventory management. So they maintain the stock levels. So if they maintain the stock levels, then only sales department is going to be responsible for selling the products. So we are going to be working closely with MM department to understand how the stock levels are going to be maintained so that sales process is going to be carried out. At the same time, SD is going to be working with FICO module as well. Because once to sell any particular product to the customer, we need to collect the payments. So finance department is the one who will be responsible for receiving all the payments from the customer. So sales team need to update that information for which transaction, how much payment need to be collected from a particular customer. For that, we try to work out with this FICO module as well. At the same time, we try to work out with PP, where this PP stands for production planning. It stands for production planning over here. And this particular module is going to be dealing with the things what is required for manufacturing. If you want a particular product need to be manufactured, it is going to be the production team who will be dealing with that. So for which material, how much stock need to be manufactured, that information will be shared by the sales team. And that is what we try to call it as forecasting data. We try to call it as forecasting data over here. So if sales team is not providing that forecasting data to the production team, they can't do the manufacturing process. So this is going to be another area where we are going to be working on. So how sales team will be sharing the information to the production team for which material, how much stock need to be manufactured. And based on that, production team will be doing that manufacturing process. At the same time, SD is going to be working with LE, where this LE stands for logistic execution. And this particular module is going to be dealing with all the activities related to shipment and transportation. So once you receive an order from the customer, we need to deliver the stock. So what are the steps involved in delivering the stock to the customer? So how that delivery processing activities are going to be performed with LE department only, we can work it out. Okay. So these are all what we try to call it as functional modules. So this is going to be what we are going to be dealing with, functional module integration topics. So how sales is going to be working with MM, FICO, PP, LE module. So people who come from non-coding background or is having domain experience in the respective areas, they can pick a module, get trained and work on SAP. So if you're coming from sales domain and if you want to work on SAP, you need to have knowledge on sales process. And apart from that, you need to understand how sales is going to be highly integrated with different modules for data sharing and for data processing as well. So this is going to be an interesting area. Without this particular skill set, you cannot apply for any particular job. And once we have this particular knowledge, we are going to be working out with a project workshop over here. Now, when we try to talk about this particular project workshop, what exactly I'm going to be explaining it. So here I'm going to be explaining what is going to be the role of SAP SD consultant. What exactly we are going to be doing it up in the real time. So what is going to be our job role as part of this particular implementation and support environment is what we are going to be looking after. What we do as part of implementation and support projects. That is what we are going to be looking after. The first thing. And the second thing, I'm going to be explaining the methodologies used for SAP implementation. If any company want to use SAP application, so how you are going to be building the software, how you are going to be deploying the software, what are going to be the different phases involved in it, in each and every phase, as a consultant, what is going to be our job role, that is what we try to look and understand it. That is what we try to call it as methodology. Third, we are going to be working out with data migrations. So how we are going to be using data migration tools for getting the data into SAP. So move the data.
Hello. Hey, hi, Jaira. Good morning.
Yeah.
You are not going to cover the methodology which is going to be, whether it is a ASAP methodology or Activate methodology.
No, I'm going to be working with Activate methodology.
Okay.
So ASAP methodology, we are not going to be dealing with it. We deal with only Activate because
No,
the reason
correct.
that,
Activate current S4 version is Activate, but
yeah,
if
that is the reason.
anyone is going to be placed with the which having the ECC,
So that is the reason we are not going to be
so in
dealing
such
with
case,
we work with only Activate methodology. So if you are
okay.
trying to work with an upgradation project, now for example, you got an opportunity to move the data from old version to new version, from
Correct.
ECC to HANA. So in that particular case also, we are going to be dealing with Activate methodology itself. Okay.
Okay,
So
it sounds good.
So one thing, guys, like here, if you people don't follow this one, this is nothing but older version of SAP. So your entire training is going to be done on S4HANA, which is the modern version. In SAP, we have an older version called as ECC application. So
We are
what?
going to train in S4 HANA, which version in S4 HANA?
So whatever the server access your institution is going to be giving, you will be getting it. Most of the time, it will be 2025 itself. If not,
2025.
any other version.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a latest one what we have it. Or you may receive an access for 2023 system or 2022. I don't know which access they are going to be providing it up, but most of the time it is going to be 2025 itself. Okay,
Okay.
now another one I wanted to explain. This is an older version. We try to call it as old system of SAP, and this is a new system of SAP. So already there are some companies which are using older version of SAP. Now, SAP has clearly mentioned that going ahead, they will be not providing support for the companies which are using ECC. So they need to upgrade their application to S4HANA. So whatever data, whatever things has been put in ECC need to be migrated to S4HANA. So that is the reason we need to understand how this migration tools are going to be working if you want to move the data from one system to another system. So that is what I'm going to be teaching you all. So how we are going to be using the tools, how to use a tool for moving the data into SAP. Fourth, I'm going to be talking about SAP system landscape. So when we try to talk about system landscape, you're going to be having three different servers to work. One, we call it as development server. Second, quality server. And third, we name it as production server. So in each and every server, what is going to be our job role? What kind of activities will be done? That is what we try to learn. If you are part of an implementation project or a support project, you need to understand what exactly activities as a consultant we try to perform in each and every server. So this I'm going to be explaining it theoretically and practically. I'm going to be showing you how you're going to be moving the data from one client to another client as well. And coming down to the fifth one, I'm going to be giving you a case study to work on the entire SAP project. So when I'm trying to talk about this particular case study, this is going to be for an implementation project. where I'm going to be acting as a business, you're going to be acting as a consultant, and you're going to be building the application from start to end. So based on the requirements, what I'm going to be sharing it up, you need to build the application completely from start to end. And I'm going to be giving you certain issues what you need to work. So these issues, you need to come out with a solution for that. If there is no solutions available in SAP standard, so you need to come out with a solution. So how you're going to be interacting with the technical department. So how you're going to be building the application for that. So when we try to talk about this one, cross-module integration, I was trying to mention that these are going to be the areas where we try to work with the functional modules. In SAP, you're going to be having technical modules as well. Technical modules. So people who come from coding background or is having good knowledge with the systems, they can get trained on technical modules and look for the job opportunities. So we are going to be having integration of how SD is going to be working with ABAP. This is going to be one area. So this is nothing but coding. So if you want to write any code or if you want any screens need to be built in SAP, it will be written in ABAP language. For ABAP, we have an advanced version called as BTP. Okay, so we are going to be interacting with the ABAPers a lot in a project for customs developments. So how to work with that? For that, we are going to be learning functional specs. So how we are going to be preparing a functional specs for developments. So this is going to be another area where we are going to be focusing on. And another technical module where we are going to be working on how SD is going to be working out with basis. There's going to be another module. So where basis is going to be the department who will be taking care of your SAP service, maintenance, installations, SAP software installation, your maintenance is going to be handled by basis department. We are going to be working out with this basis department related to user roles and authorizations. So to which user, what authorizations need to be provided, that is going to be controlled, and for data transportation. So if you want to move the data from one system to another system, it is going to be handled by the basis department. So we are going to be working with these things under SD basis integration, so that you have a complete knowledge how things are going to be performed in the real time. So with this only, your entire training program is going to be completed, and we try to gain good knowledge with the subject, and you can go and appear for the interviews as well. Apart from this, I wanted to mention this one. The training which I'm going to be doing it up is going to be helping you to write SAP certification as well. Okay, so no need to get something extra. This is going to be covering the topics related to SAP certification. So you can get good hands-on experience and you can crack that particular exam as well. So this is what I wanted to do it up. So giving you a total overview of how this particular training program has been designed, what things I'm going to be covering it up. And I'm going to be explaining two job roles. So I'm going to be explaining what is going to be the job role of end user. What is the job role of an end user and what is the job role of SAP consultant. So we are going to be understanding two job roles. So what exactly as a consultant we do, what an end user is going to be performing. So end user is going to be having limited access to work on the system. He will be responsible for recording day-to-day transactions. Their job role is very simple. They need to feed the data. Consultant job role is going to be building the application. So once you build the application, then only end user will be responsible for recording the transactions. Without building the application, no transaction recording is going to be done. So consultants are going to be working on the backend application, and end users are going to be working on the front end application. So that is the reason you are going to be having two screens to work on SAP, front end, back end. Front end is always going to be under the control of end user. Back end will be under the control of consultants. So I'm going to be building the application from the back end, and we are going to be performing the testing on the front end to know the solution, what we have developed, what we have built is working properly or not. So once the course is completed, I don't want you people to look for an opportunity as an end user. Look for an opportunity as an consultant, because pay is going to be very high when compared to an end user job role. So this is the motive what we are going to be looking after. So this is what I wanted to present it in today's session, giving you an overview of what exactly we are going to be looking after.